Hello, everyone. Joe DeChara, CPA extraordinaire, coming to you live from downtown Levittown, New York, for another amazing episode of Enrolled Agent 101. This is where I explain all about the Enrolled Agent program, who it's for, how it can benefit you, what it takes to become an enrolled agent, why you would want to become an enrolled agent, and everything in between. Uh, and what I'd like you to do is, if you're watching live, give me a hashtag live in the chat. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. There's a really good Facebook analytics reason for that, because it number one, it makes me and my team feel good that people are actually watching and engaging. But more importantly, it gives you access to the thread. So one lesson I learned about Facebook is that when you have when you post a comment in the thread, you become part of the whole thing. So whether you like it or not, every time somebody puts something in that in a post in that thread, you get a reply. So if it's important to you, if you want to see what other people are talking about, if you want to participate in the conversation, then just do the hashtag thing. Okay, it works. I've been doing this a long time, and I didn't make that up. Somebody with a lot more Facebook knowledge than me taught me that. So also, I don't get to see, so I do see the chat. I try to be interactive here. I do see, what I see is it says Facebook user. So I don't always necessarily know who it is. And I don't even know why that is. But whoever you are, thank you for doing the hashtag live. Uh, I like to keep these short and sweet and right to the point. Uh, who this is for specifically, it's for present accountants, bookkeepers, CPAs, specifically uh, accountants, bookkeepers, CPAs in the Philippines. Okay, bookkeepers, people that are just entering the freelancing world and have absolutely no experience. Because let me tell you why this is one of the greatest opportunities that has I have ever seen. One of the greatest business opportunities for people that want to work from home, that want to have freedom, that want to have work and life balance, that want to be able to, possibly have their own agency. The sky's the limit. And the enrolled agent designation, it comes with a lot. And just as soon as you get on the journey, you start benefiting. So you don't even have to get the license and the experience. All you got to do is say, hey, I'm in, I want to become an enrolled agent. And you can start reaping some of the rewards. And that's not just talk, folks. That's from some people that I know personally, that I could vouch for, that have just stated in interviews with potential employers, with potential clients, that they are, enrolled agent trainees. Okay, and that holds a lot of weight. So now, if you don't know what an enrolled agent is, you might not be in the right place. But let me just explain briefly what an enrolled agent is. It's the highest designation that the IRS awards people. Okay, individuals, you can't, and it's limited to a select few. Okay, you do not have to be a U.S. citizen. That's the key here. Okay, and if you follow me, if you know anything about what I've been talking about for longest time, is that there's a serious lack of good accountants available to business owners and individuals in the United States. Okay, we have not only the business owners, the accounting firms, people like me. I found it very, very difficult to scale my business because I could not find qualified, competent help. Okay, but now the door's been, COVID helped spring the doors open for the opportunities. Hello, Jen. I do see your name. I have to research why I could see your name and not everybody else's, but thank you for attending. So an enrolled agent, so I am a CPA. That entitles me, that's a professional designation granted by my state. Each state, there's 50 states in the United States, and each state has its own CPA requirements. Okay, there's a national standard, but each state has jurisdiction over the CPA's licensing. Now, what does CPA mean? It means that you are qualified, or that designation can give you the ability to do audited financial statements for clients, for businesses, for not for profits, for government entities. But you could, and it's a high level of financial reporting. Now, just because you're a CPA doesn't mean that you do audits. And also, just because you're a CPA doesn't mean you do taxes. Okay, but basically so I have the ability as a CPA. Now, I would have to jump through a few more hoops if I wanted to get into the auditing business again, which I don't. Okay, it's a specialty. It's what public companies need. It's what large companies need. It's what people that have bank loans need, and it's third-party financial reporting. Okay, it has nothing to do with taxes. Okay, that's what I want to make clear. However, as a CPA, I have a license that allows me to deal directly with the IRS on behalf of my clients. Okay, but getting a CPA license is very little tax knowledge required to become a CPA, to be honest with you. I just want to make that clear. So the misnomer, the misconception out there is that, oh, if you're, all I need is a good CPA. No, not if you're a small business owner and you need your taxes done, you need a good tax person. So don't just assume that a CPA is going to be a good tax person. Lawyers have a different type of designation, again, administered by the state that they practice in. Okay, so a lawyer licensed in New York cannot practice law in another state. Okay, taxes are different. Okay, so a tax lawyer, somebody, or just a lawyer, can also represent clients before the IRS, just like a CPA. If I didn't mention that, a CPA can represent clients before the IRS. Attorneys can represent clients before the IRS. That means that once you do a power of attorney, the IRS is basically beholden to communicate anything with whoever the power of attorney is. In other words, they can't send my client a communication without sending it to me. I have to be in the loop. Okay. That being said, there is no guarantee that if there's an attorney or a CPA on the case, that they are a qualified tax expert. Okay. Because it doesn't, becoming a CPA or an attorney does not require becoming a qualified tax professional. The IRS just automatically grants us that responsibility. They put that on us. They say, okay, if you're a CPA, we're going to hold you to this standard, blah, blah, blah. But the truth is that in my experience, I've seen plenty of attorneys, plenty of CPAs totally mangle people's tax returns. Okay, they obviously had no idea what they were doing. Okay, an enrolled agent, however, has to pass a rigorous IRS exam, a 3-part exam. Now, you could take one part at a time. You could take all 3 parts at once. It's up to you. I don't want to talk about the details of the test right now. What I want to talk about is the distinction that becoming an enrolled agent brings. So an enrolled agent, once I see that enrolled agent designation, I know for a fact that this individual is an expert in federal tax law. Okay, why do I know that? Because of the test that they have to. It's not an easy test. So there's three parts: the individual part, the business part, and the practice and procedures part. Okay, they all have different, content, different challenges. The opinion out there is that the individual is the hardest, business is the second hardest, and the practice and procedures is the easiest. That makes sense to me. Okay, so it depends on what your strategy is on how to approach the exam, and that's a whole nother thing. But so now that if you have an idea what an enrolled agent is, what can you do with that? What can you do with that designation? Before I even get there, let me tell you what you have to do before you become an enrolled agent. See, to become a CPA, you need to have an accounting degree, and you need specialized accounting experience. Okay, and now that depends on the state. It's been a moving target. They changed it since I became a CPA. When 40 years ago, 35 years ago, when I was applying to be a CPA, I needed 2 years of pure auditing experience. So it took me 5 years to get 2 years of auditing experience because I did mostly taxes. I didn't like auditing. I didn't want an auditing job. But, lo and behold, the firms that I work for, they did do some audits and they did sign off on for me. But it took me over 5 years, a little over 5 years, to get 2 years worth of auditing experience. Okay. I had to pass a test. Okay. So to become a lawyer, you got to get basically you got to go to college, and then you got to go to law school. So you got to get a law degree. Okay. And then you got to pass the bar exam. Okay. That's how you become a CPA and become a lawyer. Well, to become an enrolled agent, you don't need a college degree. You don't even need a high school degree. Okay. What you have to do is you have to pass a suitability test. Okay. And fill out some paperwork. That's it. So what's the suitability test? The suitability test is a short questionnaire that you'll fill out. You are going to get what they call a PTIN, practitioner's tax identification number. Okay, a PTIN is if you can't get a PTIN, you can't become an enrolled agent. If you can't get a PTIN, you can't prepare people's taxes legally for a fee. You can work on their taxes. Okay, so we have 7 full-time accountants on Team Bedrock right now. 3 of them have a PTIN because we're doing this program. 4 of them don't, but all of them have been able to work on our tax returns. I have the PTIN. I'm the one in charge. Okay, so you can work on somebody's tax return. You just can't sign off as the preparer, and you're not legally allowed to charge them. Okay, people that do that are what they call ghost preparers, and they get into a lot of trouble, and they're one of the 12 top scams that the IRS is always telling us about. So they got the IRS has their 12 top scams that are out there. One of them is ghost preparers. So if you want to be a legitimate preparer, you need a PTIN. And let me see. I know that I saved the account PTIN requirements. So I'm going to put the PTIN requirements in the chat here, and I'm going to go through them with you. To show you it's really not that difficult. So, and the reason why we're here, what got us here, was a simple question in one of my classes where somebody said, do you have to be a U.S. citizen to become an enrolled agent? Now, I never even thought about that, but instead of saying answering, we looked it up, and it turns out you do not have to be a U.S. citizen to be an enrolled agent. And like I said, you don't need a college degree. You don't need any kind of formal education. You don't even need any kind of practical experience. All you have to do is pass the test, which is kind of scary, to be honest with you, because some people are just really good at passing tests. I could pass tests. Okay. I might be able to pass a medical test, but I'm not, performing surgery. I might be able to, and I don't know about the law school, but those are hard tests. But if I put my time and energy into it, I could probably pass it. That doesn't mean I could practice law. Okay. But the point is, the only hoops you have to jump through are the same hoops you would have to jump through if you were a United States citizen. Okay. And that's why this is such a tremendous opportunity for people. So let me see. Yes, I put the P10 requirements. Now this year costs $30.75. Okay. Now you don't have to invest in the P10 if you're on the fence, but I'm just giving you the steps if you wanted to become an enrolled agent. Okay, so you get the P10, you pass the suitability test. And the suitability test, what they want to know is they want to know who you are, that you're a valid person, you're legal, you have a passport. In the United States, they would want some kind of, probably my driver's license. I think I had to give them. But you got to prove who you are. So if you're in the Philippines or another country, you'll have to, get a passport. You might have to get it notarized, but you could find out right from this one page. The second step is to set up an account with what they call Prometrics. So Prometrics is the company that, and I'm going to put another link in the chat here. What Prometrics does is they are like the IRS's agent for testing. And once you have a P10, you can register there. You can actually get practice exams. You can get practice questions. You can see what it's all about. And most importantly, you could see the schedule of where the tests are. Now, in the last 2 weeks, I have personally interviewed, I've had long conversations with 2 individuals that recently passed the enrolled agent exam. One had to fly to Korea and the other one had to fly to Japan. The test was in the Philippines, and we're going to get it back there through public, through a campaign that we're going to be launching. Well, all we got to do is let the IRS know that we want to have the Philippines as a test center again. Okay. The cost involved, it's going to cost you some money. Okay. But a lot of things do. It's going to cost you time. More importantly, it's going to cost you money and a substantial amount of time. But like I said, if this is a journey that you want to look into, that you're interested in, I am here specifically to help people become enrolled agents. More specifically, people from the Philippines to become enrolled agents. Okay, we have a big need for this in the United States, and it's a great opportunity for anybody that has interest in it. I've also put a link in the chat to the information about our program. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My email is joe@bedrockbusinessbuilders.com. Tell me your story. Tell me, what you're interested in doing, and I'll let you know if we could help you. Okay, that's my story for tonight. God bless everyone. I'm sticking to this story, over and out. God bless. Thank you. And see you next week with